Hi guys, this is Miss Gilman and I wanted to touch base with you today. I'm going to minimize this a little bit so I have a little bit more room for my screen. So we're going to start today with our Unit 2, Lesson 4, 2.4. So today we're going to work on multiplication. So a lot of you know your multiplication facts. If not, you're working on them really, really hard. You're trying your best to get them very quickly and very fluidly. So what we're going to work on today is now expanding. So now that you know your basic multiplication facts, we practiced 2-digit times 1-digit. Now we're going to go in even more. We're going to make it and take it to that next step. That's how math works. It builds on itself, which is awesome. So starting today, we're going to do mental math. So all of these questions should be in your head. Let's see what you can do. So first question we have is 7 times 6. In a snap, you should know that 3 seconds is what the math facts you should know in 3 seconds. 7 times 6 is 42. Now, one of the things we worked on last week is using expanded facts. So 7 times 6 is 42. So what's 70 times 6? What is 7 times 6 times 10 to the first? If you said 70 times 6 is 420, you are correct. Let's think about this. 6 times 10 to the first is 60. 7 times 60 is also 420. So this is an easy way using some of these extended facts to do your multiplication. All right, 4 times 7. Four times 700. What is 7 times 10 to the second? All right, if you said this is 28, you said this is 2800, and if you said this is 700, you are correct. Awesome. So these mental math strategies are going to be good for you when you're practicing multiplication. Using some of those other things like adding the 0 to the end, those are little hints that can help you. So today our math message that we're going to be working on is 34 times 9. 34 times 9. You can do this a lot of different ways. So what we are going to start with today is traditional multiplication. Now, I know a lot of you from 4th grade are very familiar with lattice. Lattice, while it can be good, also has a lot of room for error. There are little tiny mistakes that you can make with adding or subtract or carrying numbers. There are little tiny mistakes that you can make when you're multiplying, and it almost makes it harder if you use lattice because there's a lot more room for error, a lot more things that you can mess up on. So in 5th grade, we ask that you do not use lattice. From here on out, lattice is something that you can maybe use to check your work, but I don't want you to use it first. I want you to use traditional multiplication first. So the way I set up my problem, if it's written off to the side like this, I always rewrite it. Now, one of the things that we're going to use something called partial products. Partial products is basically exactly that. It is part of the number and then you add them together. So I would do 9 times 4 is 36. And then I would do 9 times 30 is 270. And then I would add 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 306. That is how you do partial products. Another thing that you can do is you can do, they actually want me to show you a different way using some estimation, but I don't know that that's necessarily what we're going to be good with right now. So partial products is something that you can use on a daily basis. It is something you can use to help you find the answer. It does, however, get a little tricky when you get into bigger numbers. So I will show you partial products, especially as we get bigger. Just be careful, okay? Now I'm going to show you U.S. traditional is what this is called. U.S. traditional, this is what my video was about. If you watched my video, what you should have, by the way, for when we did our e-learning day, U.S. traditional is basically you look at one number at a time. So 9 times 4 is 36, and then I carry my 3. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 3 is 30. That is U.S. traditional. Notice I already kind of added it together. I did it while I was doing my math. Okay? The third way you can do this, 3 different ways. I told you, I show you 9 million ways. The third way you can do this is called area model. So area model for a number like this could be easier for some of you, but it also could be trickier because, again, it's kind of like lattice. There's a lot of room for mistakes. So area model, the first thing you do is you draw your little rectangle. And then I'm going to write 9 off to this side. And then I'm going to separate 34 into 30 and 4 because I separate it into my tens, how much it's worth, and my ones. So if I add this together, 30 plus 4, my answer is 34. And then I multiply. 9 times 30 is 270. 9 times 4 is 36. And then I add those numbers together to get 306. That is how you do area model. Now, we're going to use a few different ways in today's lesson. Sometimes I'm going to use traditional. Sometimes we're going to do area. Sometimes we're going to do partial products. But what I need you to understand is find the method that works for you. I can't say that enough. Find the way that works for you. So if you don't understand area model, just being honest, I didn't understand it the first couple of times that I had to learn it. That's okay. If partial products throws you for a loop and you have no idea what it's doing, fine. If you don't understand traditional, fine. Find a method that works for you. And don't find the calculator because you need to learn how to do it. All right, time to go on into our math journal. So everyone should have your math journal open. You should be on page 48. So I'm going to look at page 48 and we're going to do that. And 48 and 49 today. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you guys can focus just a little bit closer on what I'm doing. So it says for problems 1 and 2, solve one problem using U.S. traditional. Solve the other problem using any strategy. Show your work. Be sure to check that each answer makes sense. Making sense, making sure your answer makes sense. This is big. I will tell you that I am a creature of habit. If somebody says, find the answer to this problem, and I just do it quick, a lot of times I don't check myself. That is not a good habit. Because I saw last year when I was doing tests with my kids, when I gave them a challenge problem, I've seen so far this year when I give you a challenge problem, somebody would say, oh, that equals 29. Well, if I have 20 times 5, that equals 100. So it's definitely, my answer is not going to be 29. Okay? So in other words, what I'm trying to say is make sure your answer makes sense. All right, here we go. So it says, for one problem, use traditional. Solve the other problem, any strategy you use. So I'm going to do traditional for number 1. All right, 6 times 3 is 18. And I'm going to carry my 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Super easy. I don't have to add any more for this one. I don't have to do anything else. For number 2, I'm going to do partial products. I'm going to do 70 times 5, and I'm going to do 6 times 5. 70 times 5 I know is 350. because 7 times 5 is 35. Add my 0. 6 times 5 is 30. And then if I add those together, I get 380. 380. Now, very, very important. It says be sure to check that each answer makes sense. 23 is about 25. It's about like a quarter. So if I have 6 quarters, I have about $1.50, right? That's really close to $1.50. $76 to me is close to 75. 75 times 5 is about 350. So my answer is 380. That means I'm close to where I need to be. Absolutely. Now it says choose problem 1 or 2. Explain how you checked to see whether your answer made sense. So I'm going to use problem number 1. It was easiest. So for problem 1, I rounded 23 up to 25. Then I multiplied by 6. Remember I said 25 cents times 6 is about $1.50, right? Same thing here. 23 is close to 25. Times 6, it's about 150. And then my answer was 138. To me, those are close. You also could have said I estimated the answer to be about 150, and my answer was 138. This is how I would write it. This will get you credit. It showed me your whole process, and it showed me that you were close to that answer. I'm going to move it up just a little bit, and I know some of you are still writing, and that's okay. So for problems number 4 through 7, do the following. First, write a number model with a letter for the unknown. So this is getting into a little bit of algebra. I know that's a big, scary word, and a lot of you are like, oh no. Algebra basically just means that there's a letter inside of your problem. That's why right now you guys are not using the X very often. That's why when I write 52 times 7, I put the little asterisk sign. It's to show you multiplication with this instead of the X, because a lot of times people use the letter X in algebra. So this little asterisk is something that we know just means multiplication. Okay? So solve the problem using US traditional multiplication for at least one problem and show your work. All right, number 4. 52. Okay, Paula has 7 decks of cards. Each deck of cards has 52 cards in it. How many cards does she have in all? So they did 52 times 7 equals C. Notice they chose C for cards. Use it easy. Find an easy way to do it. Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and write our number models, and then we will do our math. A bush is 21 inches tall. A tree is 5 times as tall as the bush. How tall is the tree? So for this one, I'm going to do 5 times, and remember, asterisk. The bush is 21 equals, and I'm finding the height of the tree, right? So I could use a T. 5 times 21 equals T. All right, number 6. A fence has 45 sections. Each section is 6 meters long. How long is the fence? Well, you know you're multiplying. There's only 2 numbers, so that's awesome. But I want you to think about it, guys. 45 sections, and each one is 6 meters. That's why I'm multiplying. I'm not adding. So 45 times 6 equals F for fence. The apartment building has 9 apartments on each floor. There are 43 floors. How many apartments are in the building? I want you to pause the video. I want you to write your number model and then do the multiplication and then come back. So pause the video, write your number model, and do the multiplication. All right, my number model for number 7, we're going to check that first, and then we'll go through the multiplication. Should be 9 times 43. 9 times 43 is your number model. All right, so 9 times 43, and again, I'm looking for how many apartments. So whatever I'm looking for, that's what letter I'm going to use. So 9 times 43 equals A for apartments. Now, you should have done the multiplication. So 52 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry my 1. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 1 is 36. So 364. 21 times 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So this answer should be 105. 45 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 3 is 27. So the answer is 270. And then finally, 9 times 43. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. Plus 2 is 38. 387. All right, I'm going to double check my math. I'm going to look and make sure that I actually did it correct. Because you guys don't realize this. Some of you do. But Miss Gilman makes mistakes all the time. So I always try to double check my mistakes. A couple of you caught some of the mistakes that I've made. And then we've actually had a mistake from the book. So double check yourself always, always, always. All right. So what's going to happen is for today, we're going to go through our math boxes. Then later on the lesson, I'm going to give you some sample problems that you're going to do. And I want you to practice multiplication. So really, really, really try your best at that traditional multiplication. And then we're going to keep practicing as this unit keeps going, okay? Looking at number 1, solve. So this is where you have to do order of operations. This is a very, very clear-cut one, guys. There is no way to get around this. You have to do order of operations. There is not 9 different answers. There's only 1. Okay, so looking at number 1, 18 divided by 3, I'm going to do that first. That answer is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. On this one, don't forget you start on the inside and you work your way out. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 7 times 5 equals 35 minus 20. All right, 8 divided by 9 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then do your math that goes along with that one. Nobody should get those wrong. Number 2, write a 5-digit number with a 6 in the ones place. Before I do anything on this one, I always write my little hint. So that's ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So a 6 is in the ones place. 3 is in the thousands place. 1 is in the hundreds place. 8 is in the 10,000s place. 0 is in the tens place. Write those other digits where they go. All right, which expression shows 3,248 in expanded form? 32 times 1,000. Oh, wait. That doesn't say 32,000. 3 times 1,000. 2 times 100. 4 tens. 8 ones. 3 thousands. 2 hundreds. 4 tens. 8 ones. 3 thousands, 2 hundreds, 4 tens, 8 ones. Your answer should be B, C, and D for that one. This one is super simple. I have 2 by 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, by 4. I just told you what to write there. 2 times 2 times 4. Find your final answer. Exponential notation. So this is where you're going to write 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, when you are writing this in the assignment, when you are writing this on the Google form, you're going to write 10 caret 4. That's how you show me. 10 caret symbol, whatever number goes there. 10 caret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Interesting. And then finally, number 6, Asher used 5 apples to make an apple pie. To make a jar of applesauce, he needed twice as many apples as he needed for the pie, plus 2 more. So 2 times 5 plus 2 more, it says. I might have just given you the expression that you need, and now you need to find your answer. So you, on this answer in your assignment, you will need to write this whole thing. You need to have parentheses. It needs to say 2 times 5 plus 2. And then it needs to have your answer. All right. Have a great day, guys. I hope that you enjoy your lesson today. Again, we're going to practice multiplication for the next couple of probably 2 weeks. So really, really practice those facts. There's a lot of other stuff we're going to cover. So really practice that, okay? Have a great day, guys.